What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. It's been raining here for the past couple days and the forest has been loving it, but it let up for a little while. So I wanted to show you some sections where I'm growing that a few of you probably have never seen before. Let's go. When all of you are watching my videos, I hope you're saying to yourself, I can do that, or he's not doing anything too special, because what I'm doing here, I want it to be relatable. I want it to be practical, because I'm just like you, no different. I live, in a suburban neighborhood, like a lot of you probably do. I have a good amount of space in a suburban neighborhood, but I don't have a lot of space. I only have so much time, but the space and the time that I do have, I dedicate that to, what I love doing, which is growing. So if there's something you love, even if it's not growing, I encourage you to dedicate some time, set aside some time, set aside some space if you need it, set aside a little bit of money. I encourage you to set aside a fund, for 3 fruit trees this year. Even if they're $30, say $100 for this whole year, you gotta set aside. Take a little time, put it aside, even call it don't call it a fruit tree fund, call it like a fund for your future health and wellness or something. Whatever you have to do to make yourself do it, to put it on you. And it doesn't have to all come together in a day, or a week, or a month. It's about making those continued investments, because they will accumulate. Everything accumulates. 1 tree you put in this year, maybe 3, like I said, if you could afford it, get those 3 trees in this year, 3 next year, a couple bushes. Before you know it, you'll be walking through a forest, eating, picking the fruit, feeling like a little kid on Christmas. Everyone loves that giddy feeling. If you have ever seen Paul Gauchi's videos, you can see him when he's in his garden. He goes back to that giddy, almost childish joy, excitement, and that's what living your passion and pursuing it, that's what it brings. And I'm a true believer in that. The strawberries are pursuing their passion of growing, producing fruit, and they're gonna make me one happy, delicious grower, that's for sure. All the stuff I just showed you, you've probably seen that before. And a lot of the stuff I just said, you've probably heard all that before. But there's nothing new. When it comes to gardening, growing food, it's nothing new, it's just basic principles. There are no new principles. It's about the fundamentals. That's what I believe. You get those right and you could have a beautiful forest. You could have a beautiful life. But let me show you some things on that side garden, the one you haven't seen. And it's a little mini food forest specializing in something a little different than just general food forestry like I have here. Straight ahead you can see the hazelnut and the nectarine in the 7-year-old food forest. As we zoom out, now we're in the side garden. This is actually located on the north side of the house, in a location most people wouldn't grow. Getting good production. Like I said, this garden, this little food forest is specializing in something. That's berry production. Specializing in all different kinds of berries. Let me take you through and show you some of the kinds we have in here. Let's start in front here with the blueberry, which is nothing special, but you have to grow them if you're in New Jersey. They're classic, they grow so well. And this is the Darrow. So you have to have a good variety. The Darrow has monster blueberries, size of quarters. Here's a service berry. A little different kind of berry than what you might have heard. They're good, almost like a tea flavor, remind me of a blueberry, the size. Here we've got an apple. That's not a berry, but still, you gotta have the strawberries. Look at this nice matte strawberries we planted a couple years ago. I showed you guys when I did that. Even though it's been raining out, we still got the bumblebees working. So they wanna get out here and have some of those delicious blueberry flowers, because there's a lot of them. Next we've got some boysenberries. And that's a combination of 2 different kinds of berries, which should be fun. We've got flowers on them. We'll get to taste those. And we've also got the tayberry. So we've got flowers on those as well. And those are trailing, those kind of berries, which means they trail along the ground. Typically you'll grow them up a trellis, which is better, but I wanted to let them trail for a year. This way I can have them root and give a lot of them away. So there's one that's rooted right here. And there's an extra boysenberry for free. I can give that away to someone. The reason I have this here is because it's we've got a well and there's a pipe running there, just to let us know. And here's another tayberry that rooted. So free berries, propagating ourselves. It's the way to go. If you're super eager to get your food forest started and you can't afford the plants, that's a great idea. You could just go and find someone maybe locally who's propagating some, just like me. If you're by me, you want to come see the food forest, I'll give you all different kinds of plants. I got raspberries potted, ready to give away. I got like those, you saw the tayberries in the ground, ready to go, ready to be taken out. The amount of goji berries in here that I have to give away, it's crazy. And raspberries, take as many as you want. So find someone maybe locally to you, get connected with your community, and maybe they'll be able to pass something off. And when you get that, you'll be able to propagate that in the future and pass it off also. That's the whole goal. We want to be growing as many gardens as we possibly can. With this channel too, I want to have you guys grow gardens. Have this channel actually be a virtual seed for other gardens in a sense. So I think the more we can all come together and support each other and get more gardens growing, well, that's the best. That's what it's all about. More blueberries. A lot of blueberries. I just love blueberries so much. So we planted a good amount. And we've also got gooseberries. Gotta have the gooseberries. This one's a reliable one, produces for us. And some more gooseberries back here. But this is where it just gets a little crazy, a little out of hand. We've got the black cap raspberries, but I actually did not do a good job of staying on top of these. I let them get way too crazy. Maybe one of the reasons you haven't seen this garden, I just was embarrassed, but I have to clean this section out, thin them, there's too many. But I want to make sure I get a harvest before I thin them, because this is going to be an epic harvest. Hidden within there though, we've got a Asian pear too, which is struggling because there's just too many raspberries down there, just too many. Those plantings and berries and things were more of the understory, some ground cover. I want to show you some of the trees. That's a Macintosh right there, looking very healthy. This is a red fleshed apple, this is what I'm excited about. This is the Almada red, looking healthy. It's got a number of beautiful apples on it. Even the leaves have that red tint. So again, the inside of that is supposed to be red, which is should be a fun one. Here's another Macintosh, and you can see these fruit trees are doing well. And if you look back at one of my older videos, these trees actually, I made a video about them. They were potted trees and they were root bound, and I did a little something to them to try to change them, to try to basically bare root them and heal the root bound trees. I did it with this tree as well, and this is actually our best apple tree on the property. This is the wine sap apple, not the biggest, but the best. It's been the most productive, reliable, and just the health on it. I can tell just by looking at it, but that's because I watch it grow. But looking real good. I planted a few new things too. Here's a cherry tree I put in just this year. When I planted the new food forest, I stuck this one in, and it's doing well. We've got that to help pollinate the Bing cherry. And more blueberries over here. Then right in front of me there's a roadside plum. So that's a plum that's supposed to be a good producer and have good disease resistance because it's more of a natural one, just one that grows as a native. Not local to here, but still not as domesticated. There's some grapes growing up the fence line, doing excellent. Forest in the back, the chicken, she's working on the other side of the fence. So the idea is to kind of have that berry garden blend into the 7-year-old food forest because it's still just on my left here. So this will kind of get engulfed. We'll put a new door on that. And we'll be growing around the back as well. This is a beach plum, which grows native in New Jersey. So I'm excited about that one, putting that one in. It stinks that it took me so long to find something like a native beach plum like that, but living close to the beach, but that's okay. Here's a thundercloud plum. Also a plum that is supposed to be a good producer, not as domesticated. Because a lot of our plums are getting attacked. And so we don't want to use any pesticides or anything unnatural. We'd rather just go for disease-resistant varieties, as long as they're delicious and as long as we have fun time growing them. And in there we've got an elderberry that died down to the ground, and it's coming back nicely. The birds love being in here, if you guys can hear them. They're in the 7-year-old food forest. It's turned from growing food almost into like a bird sanctuary. It's just amazing. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you gained some value from it. I hope you saw some plants or some berries and stuff that you've never seen before. Got some ideas, maybe something you'll put in your garden or your food forest. There's still other things that I haven't showed throughout the property. I've got some weird stuff, Japanese raisin tree, and some others I don't want to give away. Hopefully they'll become more productive in the future. We could share those, and it'll be something that I could suggest you guys grow also. Some of these little novelty things, it's fun to add to the diversity. People come over, they say, "What is that? What are you eating?" I say something like a gooseberry. They say, "Gooseberry? I've never even heard of it." So I have a good time doing it and sharing it with others, especially with you guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to check us out on Steam It. We'll be back at you real soon. James Prigioni is out.